Dynamite Delight. Okay. What we got here? You already know it. I'm saying it right now. The last match is what I enjoyed the most of the show. But I'm not going to tell you that the rest of the show was garbage. No. We did get some progression. What's going on with Joe Strickland and Paige. We did get some progression when it comes to Garcia, Adam Copeland, and Christian. You got some confusion when it comes to Hathaway and Willow Nightingale. I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. And when it comes to the EVPs, I got my thoughts on that too. But let's start with the one thing that I'm sure people want to say, dude, why didn't you like this match? It's not about the quality of the match. It was because of one person again being seen at the very opening of the show, and he should not be there. And that's Jon Mox. I don't hate Mox. I don't hate Mox. I do not hate Jon Moxley. But let's make it clear. Who has been seen the most on every show almost of Dynamite? Who? Moxley. He's also been seen on Collision. He's been seen almost in every pay-per-view. I don't know if he's even seen on Rampage since I don't check out Rampage. But he's been on every show. I know he does not show up on All H. But guys, this man needs to take a break. We have overexposure of Jon Moxley, and he's there every night. Now, mind you, props to him. He's willing to go out there and put on the best he can do. But sometimes you overdo it when you show somebody. One of the things people couldn't stand about Hulk Hogan was because he was there all the time. Not until he went to WCW and rebranded himself as Hollywood Hulk Hogan did he become interesting again, because he's been seen so much. And now Mox has been in that mold right now. He's being every day, not every day, but every show. Sometimes you got to give the guy a break to go away for a little bit, couple of weeks, a month at max, so people can breathe from him, and it's just not right. But I'm not going to say the match was bad. It was not bad. Look, it's Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, I do not have a Valentine anymore. That's not going to hurt too much. Look, not everyone's got a Valentine's. I don't got no. I don't have anybody. I can't say, well, your mom could be a Valentine. You could say, I love you, Mom. Happy Valentine's Day. No, my mom's gone. I don't have a girlfriend and I don't have a wife. Yeah, I'm pitiful. I'm a pitiful man. But not everyone has one. But it seems like Moxley and Dash Hardwood just got one, because what do we get? We got Moxley kissing Dash and Dash kissing Moxley and then beating the shit out of each other. Why? What? Who thought this out? I want to know, when those two were in the back, someone had to say, hey, Mox. Yeah, you're with Dash. I got an idea. During the match, why don't we kiss one another just to piss everybody off or think we're nuts? And they said, that sounds interesting. Okay, let's try that. So Mox kissed Dash, and Dash just grabs and goes, "Rrr!" And then they beat the shit out of each other even worse. And I'm going like, where the fuck? But look, when it was over, Dash was choked out because it was a very good match. I'm telling you right now, out of all the matches there, next to the death match, which is about the match itself, more than it's about Taman and Orange Cassidy. It was just the match itself and how well they built it. There was no story for them. I'm saying it now. Here, we don't really have a general story. Look, we had CMLL come. I'm still angry that we didn't get any vid packs from these guys, no interviews from these guys, nothing. And yes, the Blackpool Combat Club is going over to CMLL in I'm about to say Africa. You see, I'm getting angry. If you're going to do cross promotion, make sure other promotions respect it. I'm sure CMLL is probably showing some type of vid packs of Dynamite. Where have we done it here? CMLL needs to be respected. And I've never even seen the promotion. I've heard about it. It's a very old promotion, I believe. Maybe in the 1940s it was brought up, or the 30s. It's quite old, I believe. I'm not sure. I think it's a pretty old promotion. You guys can tell me below if I'm wrong. Fine. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if you're going to work with the other promotion, why don't you show anything of their videos? of their shows. You cannot tell me that they don't do something that's recorded. Even if it's 10 seconds of just showing somebody, you don't show anybody? This is bullshit. This is disrespectful. Impact Wrestling was never that disrespectful to AAA, Pro Wrestling Noah, Border City Wrestling. Of course, that's Scott DeMont, his promotion. Dragon Gate, at least they showed something of them. They showed something. Even New Japan Pro Wrestling was willing to show some footage of them. And they showed it back. What are we getting with Dynamite? Nothing. Nothing. And now, because of Moxley saying after their match at CMLL, anyone, anytime, anywhere, and we'll whoop your ass. That is the story. I'm not going to tell you it's perfect. It isn't. But still, at least it is some type of story. And then when we saw Cash Wheeler come out, beat up on Mox because he held the chokehold, the Bulldog choke too long, Dash was like that, sucking wind. He comes out. Cesaro comes out. The fight ensues. Both Dash and Cash are beaten up. And then Moxley leaves. I won't say the match was bad. It was not. But Mox has been on TV too long. I want him to take a break. 3 weeks, a month, something. Moving on. Next match. We got Willow destroying a guy named Baron Brown. There's no even need to talk about it. It's just Willow destroying somebody again. But then we don't really have anything new. Nothing. He just destroys somebody. And the story is that he's building up what needs to be done to go up against Samoa Joe. That's what that's about. Moving on. Adam Copeland versus Danny Garcia with Daddy Magic Lamont on, if I'm saying his last name correctly, I always say his name wrong, but he's on commentary. He doesn't really wrestle much. Either he's injured or they decided that he should be the manager for Danny Garcia. They want to push him, and Daddy Magic and him seem to have a really good kind of chemistry. So he's now his hype man as well as his manager. No problem. Good match. In the end, there was no finish. It was thrown out because the Patriarchy comes out, whoops some ass, gives a concerto to Adam Copeland, and almost gave a concerto to a Daniel Garcia, who got thrown out because once a Christian was dealing with a Adam Copeland, he got shown out. But two things. One, Shayna Wayne coming out there and nut-shotting. It makes me think they are going to get Beth Phoenix here. Well, whatever, I forgot what Beth's original name is. Her real name, I always think of Beth Phoenix. I don't remember her actual name. His actual wife, Adam's wife. I have this strange feeling that she may do a one-off in AEW and try to see if something's going to want. She may show up at Revolution. I think that's what this is coming down to, because Shayna Wayne has been doing this a little too much, and a woman will appear, and it should be Adam's wife. Nut shot him. The second one, I have this feeling that they're going with Garcia more than they're going to go with Adam. I think Adam decided, and Christian, that let's try to push Garcia for a little bit before I go back on you. Let Garcia be by my side, because neither one of us can get it done. Daddy Magic will also be there, so it'll be 3-on-3. I think this will be the best thing, and that's what I think is going on here. The reason that Copeland got his head concerto twice is Garcia is going to be taking his place for a little while, and Adam will be there to back him up with Daddy Magic as well. So they're going to go that direction right now. I think that's a pretty good idea, because you can still do the story with Adam Copeland and a Christian. You just don't have to finish it so quickly at Revolution, because the way it goes, this can be a long-term story. It is not a bad story. It's one of the more stronger stories. I'm cool with it. Moving on. We have the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas. The EVPs. I'm just calling the EVPs. Not destroying Top Flight, because it was a good match. But basically, they finished them. It kind of, little bit of cheated. Little. But then we get Tony Schiavone in the ring, and then he gets, by questioning the EVPs, he gets in trouble and now has a fine of $1,000. Then he gets shoved onto the floor. And then it was, who was it? It was Nicholas that said, hey, calm down. It's all right. My brother goes a little too far. Come on, let's grab you. Let's help you up. And as they're holding him, they're about to do EVP on him. You got not Sting, but Darby Allin coming out, saving a Tony Schiavone. And then doing a little bit of honesty, because he kind of says what many people already know. Look, we all knew when the Elite was created before AEW, it was always about the friends. Always about these guys. And he pretty much made it very clear the reason that all this has been going on, particularly what was the original mission of AEW? Changing the industry? You ain't doing it anymore. Particularly that when you had your interview last year, you said, well, when we re-signed, it wasn't about re-changing the landscape of wrestling. It was about, well, it's less stress on us. We don't have to travel as much. And we get some good money. And he says it seems like that because you don't give a fuck about anything but your own pockets and the power you wield. And he talks about the very first match in AEW. Cutler. I forgot all about it. That their friend Cutler was one of the people who opened the show on the first episode of Dynamite. He made it very clear. You guys want a match at Revolution? Fine. But no, this last match, that is for Sting. It's not an ordinary match because Sting doesn't care. He has nothing to prove. So that means he's going to do whatever the hell he wants. So there's no stipulation. He didn't mean it like that. But it did make you think, will there be a stipulation in the match? Will it be like a steel cage match? Will it be something that requires Sting to have to be very, what is the right word that could be for this? Because the best option for Sting at Revolution is not just to do an ordinary match. Maybe a Falls Count Anywhere match. Maybe a steel cage match. That might be the best match for him. Something that's so different that you don't have to worry about him not tanking so quickly in the ring. Because technically, Sting still gets tanked. But he doesn't get tanked. How can I say this? This is Sting when he was young. This is Sting when he was in WWE. He's a little here. So he's about half of what he used to be. And this will be his last match. Now, yes, he could still be in good shape. But he's here. He's not here anymore. He's here. Even though he's able to do the most craziest things and almost break his neck. This is still Sting in his late 60s. I think he's 66 now? 65, 66? No, not late 60s, mid 60s. So I think he's about 65, 66 years old. He's still very young because he's older than me. I'll be 53 this year. But he's still young enough that he's very spry in the ring, but he still gets tanked. So having a stipulation to the match will help hide that. Now, here's Willow Nightingale up against Sky Blue with halfway. Here's the problem. We want stories for the women. I've said this. We already know that Eric Bischoff and even JD have said now, because Scott D'Amore is not working I've checked. There's still no new information. If anybody wants to know if there's no new information, there is nothing new on Scott D'Amore right yet. But we know he's gone. And it's obvious. There is no information that says that he's done something nefarious. So my guess is he was kicked out because he did all the work that needed to get TNA to where it is. The CEO of Anthem basically said, I want it like this because I want to make money my way. And he says, no, it'll mess up everything. And he says, well, we're getting rid of you. That's the reason why he tried to buy the company. And supposedly, from what people have said, he tried before, when Dixie was about to come in, he tried to buy it from the Jarretts. The Jarretts didn't do it. And it looks like maybe Dixie wasn't willing to do it, of course, because Dixie had just bought it. He tried again. Failed. I believe, right now, and I could still be wrong, I believe that Scott D'Amore did nothing wrong. Nothing. He hasn't done any sexual to anybody. He hasn't hurt anybody. He hasn't killed anybody. He hasn't raped nobody. He did all the hard work to get TNA to where it is. Because if he wasn't doing it right, like somebody that was there that now had removed all his comments when I was telling him, you're trying to say that wrestling's not popular anymore? Bullshit. Because WWE is still making good money. And he tried to say that TNA is nothing compared to MLW or, well, not MLW. He tried to say, this is a guy or girl, whoever left a comment. And I don't know why you got rid of your comment. You should have left it. We're having a good conversation. We may not agree, but at least I was talking to you. But essentially speaking, he didn't like Scott D'Amore. He didn't tell him I was wrong. And I'm telling him, look past that and see what the entire situation is. Scott got fired because he didn't want to go down the direction of the boss. And the boss, from what I can tell, is going to use TNA more for the network of Access TV than TNA itself. Now, that's still early days. We don't know yet. We only have the recordings that are done by Scott and the team he has. Now, if I'm wrong, I don't mind being wrong. But if I'm right, we will see, once all the recordings of Scott are done, we're going to see changes that people may not like. So, when you see something like this, and that's the reason why I brought it up, we don't know what happened with Hathaway and Hathaway, Statlander, and Will and I need to go together. They may have done it on Rampage. They didn't do it on Collision. If they did, I haven't seen it. I only seen it one time when they were shown last week. And now I'm seeing this, where Hathaway cheats, messes with the ref so Willow could win. I do not know where this is going. I don't know if it feels good or not. I don't. Because we haven't seen the progression of them. Because guess what? They still don't show any vid packs of women other than my Taste's Tony Storm, or in this case, Deonna Purrazzo, which I'm getting to now. Let me tell you this. Was Taste's Tony Storm good? Yes. They showed her getting an addition to the tattoo that she got with her bestie, Deonna Purrazzo. And she says, oh, Deonna. And they showed a vid pack of her looking at a book that she had that she made when she was with Deonna, when they were together. And she said, oh, you had such promise. I let you suck on my teat. I let you suck on the teat of my experience. The teat. And well, she didn't say my big fat nipple of my big fat titty, but you get my point. She made it clear that she was the one that educated her. She was the one who trained her. She was the one who got her where she is. But now she's about to learn what it really means when you start pushing me. Because you're asking for the original Tony Storm, all right? But when you get Tony Storm, you're going to get something that you've never seen before. Chin up, tits out. And a tattoo addition to original tattoo with a dagger going through it. And showing that she's having it. You have Mariah May there. You have Luther there. They're playing around. And she's going, ow. I have no problem with it. I enjoyed it. And we'll probably see the tat. Maybe. Maybe the tattoo will be seen by the time of Revolution. Because maybe they'll show it. Maybe Deonna Purrazzo will tear off her boot. And you'll see her foot. And you'll see the tattoo on her leg. Or maybe before that, you never know. But this is what we got. And that's a problem. This is a problem. One segment for the women. One segment for the women. One vid pack for the women. One match for the women. This is where we have a problem. And that is where, generally speaking, what I started with Scott D'Amore. Saying that, well, JD as well as Eric Bischoff said, hire him, Tony Khan. Let him run the women. Which, to be honest, they need him. If he lets him do it only there, I think he could restructure it. But I wish he'd just go back to TNA and just run it. I know I'm not fond, and I even said in my comments, I'm not fond of Scott's booking completely. Gail Kim, look, let me make it clear. Scott is the one who leads Gail Kim and Tommy Dreamer in their booking. He gives them a direction. They write with that direction. I'd rather see him stay there, even if I don't agree with all of the direction. If it's done correctly enough that it can get over, I'm fine with it. Question I'm having right now, what are we going to have in the next month or two when the new tapings come out? I'm just saying. Last match, the Texas Death Match with Taven, and Orange Cassidy. Very bloody, very wild. At one point, Matt Taven tries to do a elbow drop on Orange near the back, off the stage, and he didn't land right. The table did not break. He literally had to throw Orange. Well, the table fell. He picked up the table, set it up, and then he wanted to make sure that table really broke, and he threw Orange on it. It was a very good match. Wasn't bad. In the end, what did we get? We got a very bloodied Orange Cassidy, a very bloody Matt Taven, and Undisputed Kingdom coming out generally to help out without Adam Cole and without Wardlow. But pretty much we got Mike Bennett as well as Trent coming out. No Chuck, he's still out. So in the end, they managed to win. Orange won the match. And then they managed to drive them away. But the point here is that there is one story there, and that's Orange Cassidy dealing with Roderick Strong. But then there's another story they're basically glazing over, that they seem to tease so much, but then they didn't. And that's Trent Beretta possibly turning either heel or just going obsessed, trying to get that damn title from an Orange Cassidy, which they didn't go there. I'm just like, they've done that a lot lately, where they seem to start going down a road of a story, and then it goes like this, and then it's gone. This wasn't a bad show. The Texas Death Match was the best match of the night. But I will tell you this. Moxley needs to take a break. We don't have any understanding of Willow Nightingale, Hathaway, and Chris Statlander. I wish they'd do it on Dynamite or Collision more. What do we really get with Wardlow? Just another win. And the EVPs, they are setting up to actually have that last match. And I do believe eventually it will be a stipulation match. I think. But it's just me. Peace.